Hi everyone, my name is Kyle and I'll be presenting the Before You Dig Partners website. I'll be starting with registering an account, so if you already have one, you can skip ahead to our ticket details section. Click the Sign Up Here button to begin registering. The first question it asks is your user type. Are you a contractor, homeowner, or member? A member is any utility owner registered with our service. A homeowner is somebody doing the work for themselves on their own private property, and a contractor would be our catch-all for everyone else. Next, you'll need to enter your first and last name. Next is the company name field. I'll enter Utility Safety Partners. If you selected homeowner as your user type, this will autofill as homeowner. Same with our next field, which will also default to homeowner if you selected that earlier, but this is where you select the general type of work that you do. I'll select general contractor since I kind of do everything. Next is our postal address section where you can include a physical address if you wish, but it's not necessary. To highlight that, I'll leave our address blank, enter my city in the city field, indicate the province I reside in, and again, leave the postal code blank as it's not necessary. Then comes our electronic contact details or contact information. Enter the primary phone number you would like to be contacted with any questions or concerns. You can also enter a mobile number to opt into text and SMS opt-in. You can then enter your email address where members would send copies of their request or responses. You'll need to re-enter it twice to ensure it's correct to ensure you do receive those responses. Then comes our miscellaneous details. This is information you can enter so we can get you back into your account should you ever get locked out of. I'll select your birthday as my security question and enter March 17th. Then you have an option to opt in for our newsletter if you wish, as well as agree to our terms and conditions. You will not be able to proceed until you do agree to the terms and conditions. Last comes our login details. Your username will automatically default to your email address, but this can be changed if you wish. And then the password section. You can auto-generate a password. You can click the eyeball to see what that password was set to, and if you're not happy with it, enter your own password. Then click the sign up button to final the registration. I already have an account, so I'll back out and log in quickly, and then we can show the user details settings and how you can change this information if you need to. Found in the top right corner, clicking the user profile button will allow you to change any of those registration details you've entered earlier. Additionally, underneath the contact details section, you can opt into text messages from our utility members. Note that not all members will communicate by SMS, but this is an option for those that wish to use it. Once selected, you can click the Save button to finalize those changes. Our next step is to create our locate request. We can do so by clicking the New Ticket button to access our ticket details. The first question it asks is the province. As the Before You Dig partners handle multiple provinces, you'll need to indicate which one you're working within to start. Next is our ticket type section. This is where you enter your ticket type. Depending on the option you select, you'll have different size limits based on the area. Inside cities and towns, you'll have a smaller limit, and in rural areas, you'll have a larger one. Regular, our most common tickets, allow for 1,000 square meters on a single request, which is about a residential lot. For this example, I'll select project as I'm doing a larger work area with multiple spots. Next is our type of work. This is the overarching type of work rather than the nitty-gritty. Here, select the general option that best fits your type of work. For me, I'm planting and removing some trees, so I'll select landscaping. Next is the activity. This is where you can specify that nitty-gritty. The options that are available change based on the type of work you selected earlier. For me, as mentioned, I'll be doing some tree removal, so I'll select that. Next is our excavation method. This is how it can indicate what kind of equipment you'll be using for the work. If you're ever unsure, we recommend selecting mechanical excavation. Next is the depth. This is the deepest you will be going for the excavation. If unsure, we recommend selecting greater than 3 meters, but I know I'll only be going about 1 meter, so I'll select that. Next is our job start date. This is the day you wish to get started on the work, not when you want the locate to be completed by. Our members require a minimum of 3 full business days for regular project tickets and 5 full business days for large project. Select the day you hope to get started and then move on to the next field, which is our job end date. This is when you believe the work will be completed by. This is an optional field, so if you're not sure, you can leave it blank, but I know it'll only take us about 2 days, so that's what I'll select. Next is our user reference. If you have a job number, work order number, or any sort of internal tracking number you'd like to include, this is your opportunity to include it. I'll enter mine now as I do have one. Next is working on behalf of. Like type of work, this is the general working on behalf of, with the utility authority field being the specific. I'm doing the work for another business, so that's what I'll select. Next is our on-site contact. If you have an on-site contact other than yourself, this is where you can enter that information. I have Bob on site, so I'll enter his name and his contact number. Next is our property type. You'll need to select from both drop-downs. For the public property, indicate if you're working in the road, sidewalk, a boulevard, or a public building. I'm selecting none because I'm working on none. Then select the type of private property you're working on. I'm working on a commercial site, so that's what I'll select. Next is the area pre-marked. This is your opportunity to indicate to the locators that you have marked out the work area yourself. I'll select yes since I've done so. The last option, which is only available for Alberta requests, is the alternate locate provider or ALP option. This gives customers in Alberta the opportunity to hire their own alternate locate service provider to mark approved utilities for our members. If you do not have an existing ALSP selected, you should default to no. For more information on the ALP program, check out our website for approved ALSPs and the members they can mark for. We'll close this, and then we can click on Next to begin submitting our request. Now we're on the Digsite location. Here you can search for your dig area. We have 4 different search types available. Street, or address search, is what I'll use for our example in a bit. Intersection, which allows you to search for 2 different roadways inside of a city or town. Grid, which allows you to search for a legal land description or PNG in BC. And coordinate search, which allows you to search for Latin long coordinates. If you happen to use UTM coordinates, you can click on the Use Custom Projection Datum and then select the zone from the drop-down menu. If you're ever unsure how to search for some of these fields, you can click the question mark and it'll show you formatting for each of these. I'll close out of this and we can start searching for our first example, which is again an address. So we'll use the street field and enter 4242 7th Street Southeast in Calgary. This shows us the property and we have multiple tools we can use to find our work area. Using your mouse wheel, you can zoom in and out. You can also click on the plus minus on the left-hand side to do the same. Clicking on the map, you can pan by dragging to see the full work area. Next is the most important step, our polygon tool. With this selected, if you left click, you will drop a point. Left clicking again will drop another point. Continue this process until you've highlighted the full scope of the work area. I have a project ticket selected so I can draw multiple polygons on a single request. You'll notice that this one is labeled number 1, and if I click on the polygon tool again, I can draw a second polygon. Note that there is a limit of 10 polygons per request, so you may need to submit multiple tickets or increase your work area sizes. You'll notice that there's a blue shape that's appearing. This represents the maximum ticket size allowed based on the ticket type we selected earlier. That blue shape will disappear once you submit the ticket. It's just simply to reference that area for you. Before we move on to the next step, I'll show how the other mapping tools work. Clicking on the ruler tool allows you to measure a direction and distance. Left click once to drop the initial starting point and double click again to drop the final point. You can then hover over this point to see how far of a distance was measured. The next tool is our pin tool. This can be used to denote reference points on your side of things. These pins do not carry over, just like the blue area, and you can also delete them by clicking on delete and then clicking on the pins again. Our next tool is the edit tool. With this tool selected, you can change polygons you have already drawn. Clicking on the corners or the white squares will allow you to drag the existing corners. Clicking on the slightly grayed out corners in between will allow you to add additional vertices to build out the map from that point. Clicking save will then finalize that polygon. Our last tool is the delete tool. Clicking on this tool, you can then click on individual polygons to delete them. If you delete the wrong polygon, you can click on cancel to have that polygon restored. Once you've deleted a polygon, you'll need to click the save button to finalize that deletion. If you click clear all polygons will be deleted and you will not have the opportunity to restore them. Before I continue, I'll also show off our map layers. Here you can change from satellite imagery to street imagery if you find it more useful, or you can also turn off the labels by selecting Google Satellite. Once we've finished drawing our work area, we can click Next to confirm our dig site. Here you can enter the address you've searched or use the system to determine the address. If you've entered the correct address already, click the top option. If you need to make any changes to the address regardless, you can click into the field and make those as needed. Next is the town or city field. If in a rural area, enter rural. Then it's the province field, which will default to what you just selected earlier. And lastly, the nearest cross street or intersection. We can see 42nd Avenue on the map, so we'll enter that. And then we get to the remarks section, our last section. This is where you should include a physical description of the work area. I'll mention that this is on the south side in the green space. Additionally, you can include any other pieces that you weren't able to enter earlier. I'm doing multiple types of work, removing the trees and adding some new ones, so I'll include that. Additionally, if you have any restrictions to access your dig site, like lock gates, dogs, artificial grass, you should enter this information here as well. Lastly are our checkboxes that you'll need to agree to. The first indicating that the dig site location, drawn map, and information entered is all correct, and it's your responsibility to receive a response from each utility owner prior to beginning excavation. The second checkbox talks about that not all facility owners are registered with BYDP. There are some utility owners who do not have their lines registered with our service, and you would need to contact these companies directly. The same goes for privately buried facilities. If you have a private gas line installed on your property, this would not be covered by our service. The last step is to submit our ticket. Once the submit button has been clicked, all utility owners who are registered within the red polygons will be notified. Once submitted, you will arrive at the ticket submission page. On this page, we can see our 11-digit ticket number and 3-digit revision number in the top left, our ticket details we entered earlier below, and the list of utility owners we notified on the right-hand side. Now that we've submitted our ticket, let's talk about the actions you can take on it. The first is cancel. If you submit a ticket in error, do a duplicate, or anything like that, you can cancel the request through the system by clicking on the ticket actions and selecting cancel, then entering the reason. Next is ticket edit. This allows you to make changes to an existing request if it is not past due. Note that a change to our system has made it so that you can no longer change the drawn map or address on an edit, and you would need to submit a new ticket to do so. For this, we're going to add some extra remarks, so we'll scroll down to our remarks section and we'll indicate that we have marked these trees with ribbon to make it a little easier for our locators. We'll agree to our checkboxes again, and then we can resubmit the ticket. Once resubmitted, we'll get an updated revision number, but note that the 11-digit ticket number itself remains unchanged. The next ticket action I'll talk about is relocate. Relocate allows you to quickly resubmit a ticket to get additional clearances if it's going to expire. All the information will copy over and you can resubmit the ticket. The 11 digits will remain the same, except for the revision number. Next is continue ticket. This allows you to submit an additional ticket that is directly tied to the current ticket's work area. You'll notice that when I select continue ticket, the details are all the same and it shows me the previous drawn map. From here, I can draw the additional work areas and then move to the next step. Once we do so, we'll be able to confirm our dig site location because perhaps this is not at the exact same address. In this instance it is, so we'll leave it the same. And in the remarks section, we can see an added comment where it says continued from ticket 2026080003-001 to let the members know this is a continuation of that work area. We can then submit for this portion of our work area where we do get a new 11-digit ticket number since this is its own standalone ticket. The next ticket action I'll talk about is copy. This is how you can copy all the information over from an existing request into a brand new one. Maybe the work area is not in the same spot, maybe you want all of the ticket details but then to draw a different map, or maybe you have a ticket that can no longer be relocated because it's so past due. Copy allows you to quickly copy that information over and do your next request. Promote is a function that allows users to change planning and design tickets to regular, project, or large project depending on the size. History shows you the history of the ticket, including when revisions occurred, the date that they happened on, and the associated ticket and revision numbers. The download confirmation sheet allows you to download the PDF copy, typically sent by email. This PDF shows you the drawn map, the ticket details that were entered, the ticket number, and the list of utility owners that have been notified. Now that we've seen how to submit a ticket and the actions you can take on a ticket, let's show how we can find our tickets. On the homepage, we have our 5 most recent tickets under the recent ticket activity, but we can click view all to find all of our previous tickets. Once on this page, you have a number of search parameters to find the ticket you are looking for. You can change how the tickets are sorted by the sort by column. By default, it'll be searching for a ticket number, so if you enter a ticket number, it would find that. You can also search by city or town, and you can also change the date range to find all tickets that match those parameters. I'll show off a quick ticket search by entering my ticket number in the ticket number field, clearing the date range so I find all tickets associated with that, and we can now see the original ticket 000 and the correction we processed 001. The next thing I'll show off is how you can pre-build your tickets through the default ticket settings. When you click on this field, you'll see the ticket details section, and you can enter information as you need. If you are somebody who always does the same type of work or uses the same type of tools, you can enter that information preemptively, so those drop-down fields are entered when you start a brand new ticket. Once you click the Save button, those changes will be implemented going forward, and I can show that by clicking a new ticket in Alberta with mechanical excavation selected by default. Note that the fields that you pre-entered can be changed at any time. The last section I'll show off is the positive response portion of our website. This is where you can follow up with utility owners who have not responded to your ticket by the ticket start date. You can see your most recent tickets here by default. However, if the ticket is not visible, you can also search for it in the search field. I'll do that now. Once searched, the ticket will appear in the list, and you can click on it to see the previous drawn map. You may need to zoom in or out to see the full thing, but this should represent the area you need marked. On the left is the list of utility owners notified, and if you haven't heard from one, you can click the checkbox, then click Send Reminders to notify them. If you've submitted reminders more than once, we suggest reaching out to our contact center so we can follow up on your behalf. That marks the end of the BYDP presentation for our website. Thank you so much, and stay safe.